Welcome to Barry is Cooking again. I grew up eating Scrapple. My mom was from Wilkesboro, Pennsylvania. My dad, who was from Massachusetts, met her at Penn State and fell in love with Scrapple. So we had Scrapple in the house, and I loved the flavor of it. I thought it was delicious. And then as I got older, I found out what was in it. I wasn't too into it, to be honest. But I found this recipe online for a beef-based Scrapple using corned beef from a can from rosasyummyyums.blogspot.com. That's what we're going to try today. Okay, in our mortar and pestle, we've got sage, thyme, and oregano. We've got to grind down. Next, we saute up a thinly sliced, medium-sized onion in some olive oil. Now we add in nutmeg, garlic powder, and our ground up sage, oregano, and thyme. Now we add a can of corned beef. Well, this will be interesting. I just went and reread the recipe. The onions are supposed to be quote-unquote thinly chopped. Yeah. They're thinly sliced though, so I got that going for me. I almost forgot, a pinch of paprika. Okay, I cheated a little bit. I put it in the food processor and pulsed it a few times to get the onions finer, which I think worked. Now here's where it gets interesting. Now we add water. Then a little bit at a time, some cornmeal. I'm using semolina because that's what we got. Hopefully that works. And flour. Not gonna lie to you, it does not look appetizing right now. Okay, now that all of our cornmeal and flour are incorporated, we're supposed to be cooking this, stirring vigorously for 15 minutes. And now we put it into a greased loaf pan. Kind of press it in and smooth it out. If you think this looks gross, I suggest you go look up a video on how mortadella is made. Okay, so I'm gonna let this cool, wrap it in plastic, and it sits in the fridge overnight. Okay, it's the next morning, it's set up. Now we cut off some slices. Next, we press them into breadcrumbs. Now we crisp them up in a frying pan with a little olive oil. Well, I gotta admit, it does look like Scrapple. It fell apart. I can't remember if Scrapple falls apart when you saute it, but it fell apart a little bit. But let's give this beef Scrapple a go. Absolutely nailed all the flavors, the spices and everything that goes into Scrapple. And the consistency, from what I remember, is pretty spot on. Not quite firm, not quite mushy, but man, delicious with all those different herbs and spices. I'll put a link to the website where I found this recipe. The blog is old. The recipe was posted in 2006. She stopped posting in 2011 to start another blog that doesn't even exist anymore. So hopefully it's going to be still up by the time you see it. But I say try this if you're curious at all about this, because the flavor is delicious. I'm going to fry up an egg and finish this. See you next time.